The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the individuals participating in the show. All persons described or mentioned in the podcast should be considered innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. This podcast contains subject matter such as violence and graphic descriptions along with adult language, which may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
In the History of Mysterious Brews podcast, on many occasions, life has gotten in the way and prevented us from recording episodes. This week is no exception. Arlo had some problems coming up, and so tonight, we're just going to shoot the shit like two good old boys in a basement drinking beer. Because our audience just clamors for new episodes. So though this one might be late and might be bad, it's still new. Tonight, you're listening to the Mysterious Brews podcast, and tonight we bring you the case of who the fuck knows?
Welcome to a deep, dark, dank, moist basement. Somewhere in the bowels of Georgia. Well, Coach, I'm pretty sure you're got a extended weekend for a little hurricane blowing.
I hear they're calling for a hurricane.
Yeah.
But I don't think this old house can stand another drop of rain. Forget evacuation, that old car won't stand the strain, but we'll make do. We'll make it through. Me and you.
Together?
Me and you, Arlo.
Together?
Yeah, buddy.
It's like Thelma and Louise.
If you like contemporary folk music, that's a man named Michael Reno Harrell, and he is one of my absolute favorite artists that no one's ever heard of. He's got so many good songs. He's just this old ass man that tells stories, sings songs. Back when a long time ago when I was married, my wife at the time and I went and saw him in a bar in North Carolina. We drove all the way to North Carolina to see him. And it was a damn shame. There was 8 people there. 8. And his wife was selling his merchandise. And I was like, ma'am, does he take requests? And she says, of course. Do you know his songs? I said, yes, ma'am, I know his songs. He said, she said, I'll let him know, and I'm sure he'll take a request or two. This son of a bitch, he did like 20 songs. And what he would do is he'd sing a song, and then he'd look at me, and he goes, what do you want to hear now? And I'd tell him.
Super fan.
Yeah, and I'd tell him, I said, East Kentucky Dream, which is a magnificent song. He'd sing it, he'd sing one of his songs, and he'd look at me, and he'd go, what do you want to hear? I got 10 requests from this man. He's amazing. Michael Reno Harrell. Look him up if you like good folk, country, bluegrass type music.
So I didn't know this till tonight.
No.
Did you know about goth country?
What?
Goth country.
Goth country?
It's a blend. What it sounds.
What is goth country?
I'm just as confused as you are.
Speaking of Garth country.
Oh, good Lord. That's about to drop. Yeah.
Killer?
Well,
that shit might be popping off like P. Diddy come pretty soon.
They're saying that he is the country music P. Diddy is what the new rumor is. And then to counteract that, someone said Segura is the murderer from The Lady in the Lake.
What Lady at the Lake? What are you talking about?
It's in Texas. It's a big famous case. I think it's in Texas.
Tom Segura is hilarious. Anywho, stop your fucking yawning, dude.
Hey, can you stop it, man? I'm gonna tell you something. I'm good once as I ever was.
No, you ain't. You old as fuck.
No, I'm good once as I ever was. I'm gonna tell you something though.
You ain't no Toby Keith.
Like Hank said, the hangovers hurt a little bit more now. I pulled an all-nighter trying to get home from the funeral I had to attend down in Savannah. And I want to take this moment, and I know we've kind of gotten into this a little bit tonight, but I'm going to try to get through this without getting emotional. Friend of the show, friend of mine personally. I work with her too. Got to know her really well over the last 4 or 5 years. Have some amazing stories I could tell, but I promise to protect the innocent. Heather, she lost her son in a single car accident last Thursday. So when this drops, it would be a week ago. He was 15, and I got to meet her sister, another friend of the show. She told me at the visitation that there's been many a night she goes to sleep with us talking to her. Heather, I hope you hear this. She was extremely strong, I guess is the best way to put it. She had the strength to speak at a celebration of life right after it happened to some high school students that her son, at the high school that her son went to. She also spoke at the wake. We talk on this show about how mothers have this crazy strength, and you got 2 ways to go. You can curl up and let the world just consume you, or you can bite your lip and go forward. And I can tell you she is not curling up. She has faced this tragedy head first, and I just want you to know from me and Coach, thank you for your support.
Absolutely. And condolences. The words can't come close to making it better, but it's just, it's tragic, and I'm sorry.
The good news is I got to see some folks that, and anybody that's ever had to go through tragic things, you get to rekindle some relationships or get to see people you hadn't seen in a while, and see them in a setting that's not professional. And so it was good catching up with some friends that listen to the podcast and keep the secret. Got to have dinner 2 nights in Savannah. That's the first time I've been back to Savannah, God, I guess since I was in college. And it's gotten a lot better, I would say. I do recommend that if you are going to partake in the beverages, that you get a Uber, because the cobblestone streets are not friendly on the old ankles if you are not fleet of foot.
That sounds about right.
But it was great, man. Everybody was super friendly down there, depending on what side street you went down, depending on how high you got on a contact high. And it didn't matter if it was 8 o'clock in the morning or if it was 9:30 at night, lunchtime. I mean, we're firing it up. But it was, like I said, it was nice to see a lot of people down there. That's the reason this is coming out a little late. But we decided, like spur of the moment, when I let Coach know that I was not going to be able to edit the one we have that from a week ago because I had to leave on Sunday to head down to Savannah, we decided to put it to the people, put the vote to the people. And of course, super fan, moderator of the group chat, Chuck from Arkansas, come in strong. His first recommendation was Hardcore Dangerous Occupations in America, and he's worked 2 of them.
Hold on. No. Don't you dare.
Oh, well, you're just going to gloss over what's going on later in the chat?
No. We're starting at the end. I'm going to give my recommendation right now, this very second, and then me and you going to have it out about it. Because you some bullshit right now.
I said what I said.
I don't give a fuck what you said. You're wrong. My recommendation is Out There, Crimes of the Paranormal. It is on Hulu. If you have Hulu, if you have Disney plus Hulu, you can see it there. I am mesmerized by this show. It is actual factual crimes caused by someone's belief in the paranormal, whether that be lizard people, whether that be the goat man, whether that be witches or what. It is a good show, and Arlo shit all over it.
I did not shit on it. I just said
You did.
I just said you sold it.
Did.
You put it on a pedestal, and that pedestal was way too high.
That was no, it wasn't. No.
We're gonna go ahead and get this out of the way. Recommendation wise, I'm going to recommend
No.
it.
We're not.
No. I'm just gonna say it.
I don't care about your recommendation. You're not gonna sit there and shit. I told you it was the highest recommendation I've ever had.
That's what I was like, man, this has got to be good. And then I suffered through the first episode.
I was fucking glued to the TV.
And then the second episode, I just turned off about 20 minutes left in it. I was like, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit.
Freaking UFOs?
Yeah, but I just don't give a shit the way it went down.
You don't give a shit about UFOs all of a sudden?
No, it shifted from UFOs.
Do you not care about mysteries anymore?
Just like I told.
Is the whole world gone crazy? Does no one give a shit about the rules?
Well, we are getting a second moon, and that's going to be the next Mandela effect.
Don't change the fucking subject. How could you not like this?
Here's the thing. You sold it like this was the second coming of Justified.
It is.
No, it is not.
As far as true crime documentaries and paranormal, it's the meeting of two worlds that are beautiful. And
I will give you that. They do.
Did you watch the Skinwalker episode?
No, dumbass. I just told you I turned the second one off. I'm going to finish it against my better judgment.
1.5 episodes, and you go ahead and judge the whole series?
Actually, I judged the whole series on the first episode.
The first episode was the best one I've seen. I've seen five of the 8.
Can we talk about what was in that girl's ear?
I haven't finished all 8 is because I was watching them at work when I wasn't supposed to be.
Attaboy. Stealing on the company dime.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
All right, so here's the deal. I thought that it would be... I don't know what I thought, to be honest with you. I don't even know if I can articulate what I thought. But I will give you this. It does blend two realms. It starts off with the paranormal, and then it gets into these people are mentally unstable and commit crimes.
Oh, my God. Shut up.
Especially the first one.
Oh, yeah. He was definitely mentally unstable. I'm not going to argue that fact.
Now, I thought that it was very well produced and written for that first episode. I don't know, man. I just couldn't get into it. But here's the thing, and I told my wife this.
Man, you suck dick. I'm supposed to be watching my language. I'm supposed to be better at not cursing.
Yeah, and you just blew that out of the water.
I blew that out of the water because I'm mad at you because you upset me so.
Now, I will say I did. Like I said, it's well written because you find yourself rooting for the lady in that first episode. She got screwed over, and if they had just paid attention to her, and they bring that gray-headed FBI guy in there to kind of, we can't just do this and this. And I'm like, she told you he was making bombs. What else do you want?
Hey, you go on a little tangent or something. I got to mute for just 1 second.
Oh, this ought to be good.
Keep fucking talking. We can't have dead air.
So I remember when that explosion happened in Nashville.
See, I wanted to talk on that because to me, I think what caused my instant fascination with the show is because I don't remember that. I don't remember it at all. You're telling me there was an explosion in downtown Nashville in 2020 and I didn't hear about it?
I got one word.
That's insane to me.
One word for you. Ready?
Yeah.
COVID.
I still watched the news when COVID hit. It wasn't like I was unplugged from the world.
Well, no, I'm just saying this would have been like one of those, and today there was a truck bomb went off in downtown Nashville. It severed communications around Christmas time.
Well, I got you. But still, though.
Yeah, and it took them, what did that lady say, 24 or 48 hours for them to find her? And she waited. I think she waited to call the FBI hotline because she was like, if I call the cops, they're going to fucking 1013 me again. And I think that's horse shit too.
Exactly. Why are you gonna shit on the show when that's some of the most interesting things you've ever heard in your life?
Because you oversold it. That's why I shit on the show.
This guy was making a bomb. She reported to the cops, hey, he's making a bomb, and the fucking cops 1013er.
Yeah.
And then basically the press ruined her life.
Yeah, she had to move. Well, actually.
But no, it's not a good show.
She moved.
You were bored.
I was bored, but it was.
You're an asshole is what you are.
I know. I thought I was bored in the first episode. The second one bored me to tears. I could give a shit less if they tried to radium poison someone in the guise of a UFO crash.
You got a little wordy at the end.
That's where I'm at. I was like, you know what?
I'll give you that. I'll concede that.
Okay. I'll say this. I will give you this. In hindsight, with the 2 episodes, they do hook you within the first 15 minutes before the first commercial break. They do a good job of saying, hey, this guy had especially in that second one, this guy had a normal life. He was wasn't he a constable or clerk of the court or something like that?
Yeah. But I mean, you're going to tell me that you're not going to watch the Goat Man one? That one's a good one.
I told you that I'm going to watch that one, and I think the Granger Taylor one.
The Jersey Witch Hunt. Smoky Mountain Nightmares about freaking Dennis Martin.
I'm going to watch that one.
No, seriously, shut up.
Oh, the gloves are off.
They interview a man who was one of the kids with Dennis when he disappeared, and he's never spoken publicly ever. Never spoken publicly until this documentary.
I told you before we recorded I was going to give it 2 more episodes, and then I might watch the whole thing. I'm just not giving it 10 out of 10. I may give it 6 out of 10.
No, you shut up. This is a really good show. It's one of my highest recommendations I've ever given, ever. I
do love the fact that the barbs were traded today in the group messages, and everybody was all for it.
Yeah. I told you I was going to whip your skinny old ass.
And I said you wasn't that big of a threat.
Yeah, well, you sit on a throne of lies. You know that I'm a threat. I'm a 300-pound brown belt, bro.
That can dodge 9mm bullets.
Oh, you going to shoot me now?
I will shoot your pinky toe off.
You ain't, now you going to shoot me in my pinky toe. Well, go on quick. He said, you about to be the 9-toe having bitch in Harlem? That's the best.
You're going to hit people with trash cans.
You're going to have people with garbage cans. That's to cut you.
So, I will give it I may, next time we record, eat some crow. But right now, it's a solid 5 out of 10. I've watched 1.5 episodes. Okay, so I guess Chuck needs to pay attention and elaborate more, but when he came up with the Hardcore Dangerous Occupations in America and how he's worked 2 of them, I gather that he may have changed light bulbs on those towers.
Bro, that was crazy because I posted that. I was like, that was my absolute nightmare of a job. If you paid me $10 million every time I climbed that tower, I still couldn't do it.
I'd give it a college try.
I read a thing that the guy that climbs the tower, he gets paid to climb one tower 3 times a year, and he gets paid $36,000 every time he does it.
So, could you sign up for more towers?
I don't know. I just read I didn't research anything. I just read an article.
Now, aren't those light bulbs like the size of a car?
No. How you going to carry a fucking light bulb the size of a car up a tower?
I thought, and I may have 2 different towers confused.
Like a freaking cell phone tower.
Okay, well, I was thinking like the light bulb that went on one of them damn air turbines, and that thing is huge, and they have to airlift them some bitches in.
You mean a turbine?
A windmill, a modern windmill.
Like a turbine, not a turban. A turban's what an Arab man wears.
Same thing. I told you that I was running on fumes.
You were dumb as hell.
I was running on fumes. And that's where you cut me off, you sorry sack of sap suckers. I did well, but I decided that I was going to drive home instead of staying another night. And I was good till about Dublin. And I'm going to tell you something. If you grew up in Georgia and you ever went to Jekyll Island, St. Simon, Savannah when you was a kid, And you, when you
places.
left Macon, headed to the coast, there was fucking nothing down there. Well, guess what? There's still fucking nothing down there, and it's 2024. There is absolutely nothing between Macon and Dublin.
There ain't nothing in Macon but good places to get shot.
I got a couple of big liquor stores I almost pulled over and started drowning my sorrows in.
Let me tell you something. When I went to Memphis,
well, that's another good place to get shot.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely a good place to get shot. And I knew exactly. I went into a liquor store, and they were like, they looked like booths, but they weren't booths. But they were like 4 glass windows of bulletproof glass, and you had to walk up to one and tell the man what you wanted, and he went to the liquor and got it and brought it to you. They were under like bulletproof glass. I was like, I need to get the hell out of here right now. And then I was like, hey man, can I get some Evan Williams, bro? And then I got the hell out of here.
A buddy of mine works for AT&T, and he had to go up there because they can't, imagine this, they can't keep linemen working in the city. I don't know why. But anyway, he went up there and worked like a 2-week thing, and he said he was climbing a pole on one of the side streets. Said this guy walked up and said, hey man, how long you going to be here? And he said he was still working. He's like, oh man, I probably got another 30, 45 minutes before I'm done. He said, man, how about you be done now? And he was like, you know what? I think this can wait. And he said he climbed down, packed his shit up, went to the hotel room early, got up the next morning, started reading the paper right where he was at. Tat, tat, tat.
Ugh.
Executed somebody.
So yeah, let's talk about dangerous jobs then.
Yeah. Phone line repairman in Memphis, Tennessee.
Well, even before that, I mean, let's not.
Okay, so
risk of being shot.
The deadliest is the crab fisherman still the deadliest job?
I would assume so.
Well, it might be worth a Google. Let's see what we got.
I wouldn't do that shit. Anything involving heights too, like the tower climbers.
I'm not into heights, bro.
Skyscrapers, any of that shit. I do not do heights, man. I am too old to even pretend like I'm not absolutely 100% terrified of heights.
I'm sorry.
I'm just scared if I fall and you know how hard the ground's going to hurt.
I apologize to all of the loggers out there.
Logging steel?
Number one most dangerous job.
Well, I mean, it's a tree. Get the hell out of the way.
They have a fatality rate of 100.7 per 100,000.
Well, that doesn't seem like that much, but when you consider like how many like daycare workers die on the job.
That is true. That is true.
I'm pretty sure it's a lot less.
Is it going to let me click through? I don't know if it's going to let me click through. Number 10. I'm not believing this. Oh, those are work. Yeah, no, it says fatalities. Agricultural workers. Underground miners. Steel mill workers. Refuse and recyclable material collectors. So your garbage men. Long haul truckers. Aircraft pilot and flight engineers.
No way, really?
Yeah, they're number 5.
But there's not many crashes.
No, there's not. I don't know. Anyway, this is just in America, so before we get international hate, this is just America. Number 4 is construction, which I can see that. People being stupid. The fishing industry, commercial fishing industry is number 3. Number 2 are roofers. I could see that. Because you think, oh, man, I'm all right. And then you get your ass up there and, no, you ain't all right. And number 1, yep, loggers. We got the loggers. All right.
What about teaching?
Well, it depends on where you teach. It's pretty damn, because what was it, your first job you found out about 2 or 3 months there?
My first teaching job, bro. I got shown the knife them some bitches was going to kill me with. They showed it to me in class. Told me what car I drove. You drive a black Toyota Corolla. You tend to park on the 3rd row. We'll see you after school, brother. And man, that was a rough place. When they gave me my contract to re-sign to teach there, I handed it right back to him, to the principal, and he was like, "Are you not coming back?" And I said, "I'm going to be completely honest with you. I will sell oranges under an overpass before I will ever walk back into this school again." About 7 years later, one of the teams, the team I was coaching for, had a tournament there, and I told the head coach, I was like, I'm not going. He's like, why? I said, because I swore to that principal that I would never step foot in that school again, and I'm going to stick to it. I will never step foot in that school again. Ever. I won't do it.
And you found out the lady that you replaced, what'd they do to her?
No.
I thought it was the lady you replaced.
No. They didn't do anything to the person. What happened is a man the same exact age as me, who was the vice principal, had a freaking brain aneurysm on his desk, and died at school. And they promoted the head of special ed to vice principal. Special ed math teacher got promoted to head of the special ed program, and I took the math teacher's place. He still had a brain aneurysm at his desk at 32 years old.
There's a reason some of those systems down there pay as much as they do. So we got the guy that changes the light bulbs. I'm thinking over the haul or long haul truckers. Chuck will have to enlighten the rest of us about his second one. Physically demanding sports.
I don't give a flying fuck what anybody says. Somebody mentioned like extreme marathon runners or whatever.
Yeah, in Tour de France bicyclists.
Yeah, bicyclists and like extreme marathon. I'm not taking away anything from those people, and
it's because Goggins will come haunt you.
I'm not going to take away anything from like soccer players or anyone like that. But I don't give a flying fuck what anybody says. There is nothing more physically demanding than elite level wrestling. And I'm not talking about the shit I did. I wrestled in college. I had 2 matches. That's it. Lost both of them. And I broke my kneecap in half, and my college career was done. I'm not talking about high school wrestling. I'm not talking about NAIA wrestling. I'm talking about Division I level wrestling. You're in the Iowa Hawkeyes wrestling room.
Penn State.
Penn State wrestling room. There is nothing more physically demanding and mentally demanding than elite level.
I was going to say, it's still 3 minutes. Is it 3 minute matches or periods?
Say again, I'm sorry.
Is it 3 minute periods at college?
College, the first period is 3 minutes. The second and third period are both 2 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, still.
But I'm talking about practice-wise.
Oh, yeah.
This is what you have to deal with. You have to deal with 20 to 30 people in that room that were the absolute best athlete to ever come out of their high school. They all want a starting position. They have to deal with 3-4 hour training regiments, and it's just mentally grinding. And especially in the fact that your season goes through the 2 most major eating holidays on planet Earth, Thanksgiving and Christmas, and you can't do it.
Now you might as well go lock yourself in a cabin.
Yeah, you have to make weight. You have to maintain everything. You just have to get used to suffering. And one of the greatest examples of mental toughness is like there's a man named Tom Brands. He is the head wrestling coach at Iowa. He's a 2-time gold medal winner. He has a twin brother named Terry, who is the assistant coach at Iowa, and both of them were elite level wrestlers. Tom was Olympic champion. Terry was Olympic runner-up. They showed a video of one of them. I believe it was Terry. He's way past his prime. But he is wrestling with college wrestlers. And he's in the middle. He doesn't come out. Like new wrestlers come in about every minute. And he's going the whole time. He is wrestling as hard as he possibly can. And his expression on his face does not change. He goes for about 10 minutes straight with 10 wrestlers every minute that are fresh, ready to go. And he doesn't blink. He doesn't change his demeanor at all. But when the buzzer goes off, he literally collapses into a pile of exhaustion. Like you have to have unreal level of toughness.
It's David Goggins level.
I think it's beyond that because it tests every single solitary muscle in your body the entire time you're doing it. You're not going to convince me otherwise. I'm sorry.
Tirade over. Another another possibility.
What do you think?
No. I agree with you. I think physically demanding wrestling, it's the hardest. What we used to tell our kids in high school, it's the hardest 3 minutes of your life, and you got to do it 3 times unless you pin the guy or you get pinned. And we ran, even just 10 short years ago, you could run wrestling practice a lot tougher than you can now, and then not even close to what we went through when we were in high school. I remember laying in front of the wrestling room exit door, sucking cold air from underneath it because it was so damn hot in that wrestling room. But anyway, another one I'd say soccer, physically demanding.
Ultra marathons, we're talking
those 200-mile runners. Yeah, screw that shit.
200-mile runners, bro. That's kind of crazy.
Another one. I was trying to think if there was something else that would be extremely demanding that we're just overlooking, which there probably is, and we'll get plenty of comments on it. But another one of these off-the-cuff episodes that we could do, the origins of some of our, or not ours, but some of the more famous nursery rhymes and how those have some dark-ass backstories. We could do a whole episode on Appalachian folklore about why you don't whistle in the woods at night and stuff like that.
Why don't you whistle in the woods at night? Tell us.
You gonna call something up? You gonna call something up you didn't want?
What is it? What are you gonna call up?
Well, it depends on where you're at. You could call up a haint. You could call up Sasquatch. You could call up those. It's the Appalachian version of a skinwalker, but I don't know what they're called. Anyway. Back to dangerous jobs. I know we spoke about teaching. Mentally taxing jobs, teaching.
Oh, mentally taxing jobs, definitely teaching. Did you see the news? It was a news article. A man hijacked a school bus. He hijacked a school bus for whatever reason. You know how long he lasted on that school bus?
2 minutes.
6.
That's 4 more than I thought.
6 minutes. He asked the bus driver to pull over so he could get off because he could not take any more of the children's questions. He was done. Like, if that doesn't give you a hint of how mentally draining teaching can be.
It's like kindergarten cop. What was you wanted to touch on all of a sudden we're getting a lot more not high definition but more convincing videos that our logo friend, reigning world champion of the cryptid beatdown, Sasquatch, is legit.
Dude, if you don't have TikTok, if you think Bigfoot exists and you don't have TikTok and you start following some of them things like Idaho Bigfoot, BFRO, there's a bunch of them. You will be blown away at the amount of Bigfoot videos there are out there.
And I will say, between the two of us, we share a bunch of videos, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and we always will be like, nah, man, that's bullshit. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Now, there's one, and anybody that keeps up with it, it began with something appeared at a murder site or a discovery of a body, and there was police tape around these trees. Well, all of a sudden you see this big hairy creature come in, but it's got gray around the face area, and I don't know how to explain. It's not your typical, doesn't look like what we were led to believe. It's not Patty, I guess, is my biggest thing. This thing hurls what they're saying is a stick at the camera. It is not a stick. It is a small tree like the size of my leg. It throws at the camera. And then this son of a gun has been seen 2 or 3 more times in the area, and they think they can either hear the lithium batteries kicking on when it's motion activated, or they can see the infrared light being produced from the camera. Did he get you on the love handle?
Now something on my back is itching the fuck out of me, and I got nowhere to scratch. I'll tell you one thing though. When I was a child and I saw a nature documentary of a bear scratching his back on a tree, that was a fucking game changer, bro. I was like, whoa, mind blown.
I'll tell you, the first time I saw my dad scratch his back on the edge of the wall, like at the edge of the hallway in the living room, I was like, what? We can do that? My God.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Many a door frame has felt my wrath.
Yes. I'm like a bear on a tree sometimes. I'm like, yeah, I got to get it.
But when you look at all the TikTok videos of Bigfoot, you definitely see some that are fake. I've seen you ones I'm like, this is fake as fuck. But there are so many.
There's one that you've seen a couple of, and I don't know if it's just different angles of the same video, but there's one. This son of a gun looks, I mean, the size of his shoulders and his neck, like, I don't know how to explain. This is the biggest son of a bitch I've ever seen. And then the ones they've been dissecting on, was it in Michigan where they think that one is crossing the river holding the baby?
Yes.
That one, and then one you sent me a couple of days ago, was it in Tennessee or some Kentucky? The guy's fishing and he thinks he sees one like kind of up around the bend of the river.
Shit, I've sent so
I know you send like 400 a day.
But what I'm getting at about the fact that there's so many different ones on TikTok, basically I'm saying that these people have an anonymous platform now. I know YouTube existed, but TikTok has really opened up a very anonymous platform to show short videos, get it out there. And all I'm going to say is this: either there is something truly out there mixed in with a lot of fake ones, true. But if there's no Sasquatch out there at all, then there is a plethora of dumbass people willing to dress up as apes and walk around the woods in very popular hunting areas.
Well, that was one I saw. I don't know if I shared it with you or you shared it with me, but these two guys were hunting. They had drawn, I think they're local, somewhere out west. They had drawn a tag for elk. They're driving to work, and they were going to hunt this location like the next day or maybe that weekend coming up. And they stop because they think there's a dumbass out there in a ghillie suit trying to sneak up on a herd of elk. And they're like, this guy's going to get shot. And then they realize once they get to work and they start looking at it, that's not a ghillie suit and that's not a guy. That is something massive. Now, going off of, there's some dumb people out there that dress up in ape suits. That one video from the train where the guy, the Sasquatch sits down and kind of blends into the terrain, and he's got that shiny fur, and everybody's like, it must be Pantene that he washes his hair in. That one, they did come out and say two guys faked it. But, and this will get Coach's blood up, his buddy Todd Standing has done more harm with his refusal to disclose certain locations with some of his videos. And you can go back and look at some of his videos, and it is either some of the best CGI animatronics videos, or he really does have a habituation zone that he can video them in. So
no, he's a lying sack of shit. I don't care. If you believe anything Todd Standing says, if that motherfucker brought a corpse onto the White House grounds and the Smithsonian dissected it live on C-SPAN and then confirmed it, I would still be skeptical. That's how little I believe in Todd Standing.
His little documentary where he shows those videos, it's a little presumptuous, I will say. There was another one that I can't remember what it is now. I have to look it up. It's a YouTube video. It's Small Town Monsters produces it. On the Trail of Bigfoot, I think is what it's called. And they interview a guy in California. And it's about a 45-minute to an hour-long interview. And I'm going to tell you something. And the guy says at the end of it that does the interview, he's like, look, I've never seen one. I do this because I want to see one. He said, I can tell you this. That man started crying on me twice. What he saw was legitimate threat to him.
Man, I'm on the fence about wanting to see one. I mean, I do, but I don't.
At a distance, you would probably want to see one.
I don't even know. I don't know what distance would be okay to see one.
A couple 100 yards.
Well, how the hell am I going to see it? I can't even read the instructions on the back of a gosh darn macaroni and cheese label.
You got them old eyes.
Dude, I had to. I'm going to be honest. I turned 43 recently, and I bought reading glasses for the first time in my life. And I needed them today because one of my students needed his mac and cheese microwaved. And I couldn't for the life of me. If you paid me $1 million, I couldn't have told you how long that son of a bitch went in the microwave until I put them glasses on.
Welcome to the club.
Crazy.
Welcome to the club. It's only going to get worse.
I used to be young.
Yeah,
I used to be.
We all used to be
somebody.
Young.
I could have been a contender.
Oh, mate. All right. Was there something else the great people of the... And this is why y'all need to join the Facebook group. We listen. We put things to the people. Was there something else we talked about before we started besides you getting pissy at me?
We talked about how good the damn Tennessee Volunteers are doing right now.
They look real good. They finally played somebody that had a defense, and they showed that they can score and score often.
I don't know about often, but score more than they could.
That's the name of the game.
Both defenses, Oklahoma's and Tennessee's, look really good.
Well, the good news is Venerables out there in Oklahoma land is not going to have a shitty defense if he can help it.
I'm just saying, if wherever you're listening from, if you're still listening and you don't understand college football or you're not from the South, you just can't really understand just how freaking good the SEC really is. It's crazy. It's too tough. I don't think a single team in the SEC is going undefeated. Not one.
No, I don't either. If you do run the gamut, you got to play. You've got to play a one-loss SEC team again, and it's hard to beat someone in the SEC twice.
It's hard to beat somebody in the SEC. Damn, Vanderbilt's the worst team in the SEC, and they took number 7 to double overtime.
What was there was something else we were going to talk about, and I can't remember what it was now. Oh, let's talk about the hurricane.
It's coming, man. It's supposed to be bad where I'm at. I know it's supposed to be bad where you're at too, but I don't know about.
They're saying
it's like 10, 11 inches in like 2 days.
Yeah, well, what's bad is this upper level low from Ketchikan turned into a high pressure that was pulling moisture out of the Gulf ahead of.
Ketchikan? What are you talking about, Ketchikan? That's in Alaska, bro.
I didn't stutter.
So there's a storm from Alaska going to hit Georgia?
No, it's already here. That's what I'm trying to say.
What are you talking about?
It was an upper level low in Alaska, and it dove down the jet stream and turned into a high pressure.
How can it be upper if it's low?
Focus, and it rode the jet stream, and it turned into a high pressure system sucking moisture out of the Gulf. That's why we got all the rain we got today. They're calling for 2 inches of rain where we're at. Locally, 2 inches today and tomorrow, and then the hurricane kicks in after that with an additional 6 to 12. Depending on if you are on the east side. If you're on the east side of the rotation, you're screwed, is what I've heard. So here's to that eye wall going a little bit closer to South Carolina. Now, I think I'm going to build an ark if we get 6 inches of rain. You'll also have to keep my three-legged dog in your prayers because he's a couch princess now, and if his little paws get wet when he has to go TT, he doesn't like it. So he held it for like 6 hours today.
Well, you should do what I did for my dog because we don't like. I've gotten some complaints that I should crate him for 13 fucking hours when on the 2 days that the people that live in this house are gone, and I refuse. So what I did was I bought a ginormous pee pad that's washable.
Oh, that's good.
It's like 6x6. He's pretty good about it. But I'm not going to crate my dog for 13 hours.
Well, I don't blame you.
But I did get some, oh God, I can't remember if it was Heater or Heartline that suggested the elk bones. But those some bitches work.
Did it calm him down, or does it take a while for him to get through them?
I don't know if it calms him down, but I know it keeps him from tearing the fucking couch up.
Well, that's a plus. Where'd you get them at?
Amazon.
Imagine that.
But I'm just saying, I always get, I love them both. They're great, but I get Heater and Heartline mixed up a lot when they comment on stuff. I can't remember who said what and when there.
Well, there you go. Oh, I meant to say this. That's another thing. So
every time I see a cowboy hating meme, I'm like, which one of them two hates the Cowboys?
Oh, it's definitely Heater.
Yeah.
Heartline did text me, and he was catching up on our podcast, and he said he has a friend that sends 8 to 10 18-wheeler loads of bees from Arkansas every year to California to help in the pollination. And then he said, also being from meth country, I know about all sorts of thefts. Stealing seismic cable, and the best one, chopping a hole on an ammonia pipeline to steal dope-making supplies.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, we found that the bee business was a very lucrative business. And I said, damn, on the pipeline. And he goes, I know the guy who did it. It's a crazy story. So I can't wait to hear it. My recommendation.
No, we already did that shit.
No, you did yours, dumbass.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I wouldn't let you say yours.
Yeah, peckerhead.
You want me to say mine again?
Nope, I sure don't. But I will say this. You can watch this on ABC. It is a new show, and it's called High Potential.
Shut up.
It is a very good little show.
No, it ain't.
Just because you're still...
I was very bored during the first episode.
Just because you're still butthurt. Oh, and there's a new documentary coming out on Showtime. I can't remember what but it's about it's a town divided. People say that this guy did it. Some people say he didn't. It looks like it would be very good too, and I can't remember the damn name of that. Let me pull it up while you rattle the ice in you damn glass over there.
No, that's the dog trotting around.
Yeah, don't blame it on the dog, brother.
He does. He prances. He's a prancer.
Don't you blame it on the dog.
I did. He's a prancer.
Oh.
Him's a prancer. Him's precious. Don't you talk shit about my dog.
I don't think I did.
I do. I think you did. I will run it back.
Don't believe we did, but that's fine. Outcry. It's a 5-part true crime documentary on Showtime or Paramount Plus.
What's it about?
I just told you. A town divided about whether this guy, and it sounds like he was a cop, whether he committed a heinous act or he didn't. And
I wasn't listening. I was watching my dog prance around.
Imagine that. All right. Ladies and gents, thank you for indulging us on this episode. If you like it, let us know. We'll off the cuff some other shit. We'll actually do a little bit of research on the fairy tale one because we can't go.
Yeah, we got a good suggestion about the origins of fairy tales, but that's not something we could talk about without doing research, and we just didn't have time for it. But it is interesting. So I'm not opposed to doing it.
I some of those Grimm fairy tales are dark.
Some of them? Try every fucking one of them.
I said really dark.
Air.
Well, Coach, you got any more hateful shit to throw at me?
I don't know. I just hate your guts.
Well, with that said, deuces.